Hello and welcome to the CultCast, the best Apple conversation. I've messed it up. You're going to hear all week long. All right, so joining me today we have Griffin and Lewis. Hello, Griffin.
Good evening.
What? Just both at once? What the?
Yeah.
You're in a hurry to get out of here for Thanksgiving, aren't you?
No, I can't wait to get this over with.
It doesn't make the turkey come any faster, Leander.
Well, I don't know. I'm going to go. There's some turkey right behind me. I'm going to go grab it right now. Raw. It's raw. I'm going to eat it raw. I was thinking in the shower last week that I didn't like the way I was doing it, so I thought I'd mix it up this week. Maybe I should have warned you, though. Well, we have a fun show this week, don't we? Sort of. We're going to be talking about...
It's always fun. Come on.
iOS 27. Mm-hmm. Which is going to get a Snow Leopard update. Android is getting AirDrop support. I actually did some research on this and found out why. And your Mac is getting custom folder icons. This is a super fun one. We're going to teach you how to do that. So before we get started, though, I would like to thank this week's sponsors, which is NordLayer. NordLayer is an easy-to-use and easy-to-set-up security platform for businesses. It provides secure remote access to company resources. It enforces zero-trust security models and protects against cyber threats for teams that are remote, hybrid, or on-site. NordLayer prevents cyber attacks like DDoS, man-in-the-middle attacks, phishing, data leaks, and more, with features like two-factor authentication, always-on VPN, a kill switch, IP allow listing, and others. There's no hardware. There's no complex setup. It gives you full control in less than 10 minutes. For business owners, it offers a toggle-ready network security. It helps your business meet compliance and security standards. For IT admins, it offers an easy way to secure remote access to internal systems, and it gives them granular control. It offers easy access to what, where, and which device. It's very granular. And it has built-in threat detection that helps you spot risks early. For use cases, it's things like business VPN, zero-trust network access, threat protection and threat intelligence, and compliance support. So get the exclusive Black Friday offer, 28% off NordLayer yearly plans with the coupon code CultCast-28. That's CultCast-28. This is valid until December the 10th, 2025. You can try it risk-free. You get a 14-day money-back guarantee at nordlayer.com/cultcast. That's nordlayer.com/cultcast. And don't forget the coupon code CultCast-28. All right, thanks so much, NordLayer, for sponsoring this week's CultCast. Yeah, so let's talk about iOS 27. This has got a new focus, apparently. Why don't you tell us about Griffin?
So some iPhone users claim recent iOS releases are riddled with bugs. I don't know why that's written so vague. It's iOS 26. A lot of people are saying that iOS 26 is very buggy. I am one of them. I encounter new problems almost every day.
Really?
Oh, yeah. God. And macOS Tahoe is absolutely terrible. I had this problem earlier this week where every Safari link I clicked from another app would switch to the Safari application, but then it wouldn't do anything. Safari just didn't open any new pages. So that was really fun. It's not been a very stable release. So with iOS 27, Apple is going on a bug hunt. Quote, for iOS 27 and next year's other major operating system updates, including macOS 27, the company is focused on improving the software's quality and underlying performance, Mark Gurman reported. And same with watchOS, visionOS, etc. Quote, aiming to improve the software, engineering teams are now combing through Apple's operating systems, hunting for bloat to cut, bugs to eliminate, and any opportunity to meaningfully boost performance and overall quality. And this will apparently take priority over introducing new features. Now, that's not to say that you won't have anything to look forward to. The company will also be rolling out new AI-powered capabilities. So, yeah, you will have nothing to look forward to.
Right.
Some of these might work.
Yeah, some of them might work. There'll be the debut of AI-enhanced Siri, scheduled to come in iOS 26.4 in the spring. And Gurman also mentions Apple's AI-powered web search feature is slated for iOS 27. So at least 2 new things coming next year, in addition to the bug fixes that we're facing.
Health Plus. Don't forget Health Plus.
Oh, yeah. Apple Health Plus, the new paid AI feature system. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I think a focus on quality, maybe forcing everybody to slow down for a moment and make sure that everything works properly is a good first step. But I think a close second for me, arguably maybe even more important, I have a request that actually comes from the marketing department. This is what I want to see most at WWDC 27. A problem that we encountered just in that very story that I was trying to cover. Apple needs to give us a name that we can use to refer to all of the like version 26 software updates, you know? Apple Silicon. Apple Silicon is a marketing term that they introduced to be like an all-encompassing term for, you know, the A-series chips, the M-series chips, the H3 chip, the R1 chip. You know, we all just say Apple Silicon now instead of ARM-based Macs. People haven't uttered that phrase since like 2019. Liquid Glass is a slightly pretentious name for their design style, but you know what? iOS 7 never had a name associated with its visual design language. So we just all had to call it the iOS 7 simple design language for like years and years. Apple's really good at giving us like, you know, names that we can use every time that just make talking about these things easier when they want to. And, you know, I'd much rather have like a name from Apple marketing that I can use to say, instead of saying iOS 27, macOS 27, etc. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I've even seen people refer to it. It's the OS 27 updates. That's what people are saying, you know.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, OS 27.
So you wanted a term that covered, like Lewis just said, for all of the different
I want an Apple designated term that we can use to actually like call these things a name that makes sense.
Okay.
How about OS 27?
Yeah.
Because they're all blank OS 27, right?
Yeah.
You know what's weird? Like with Mac OS 26, Apple actually calls it Mac OS Tahoe in its support document. It doesn't call it 26. It's very weird. And I can never tell, like, it's supposed to be Mac OS Tahoe, Mac OS 26, Mac OS 26 Tahoe, Mac OS Tahoe 26. What? That, to me, is confusing.
I always refer to it as Mac OS 26 Tahoe, but, you know, in the style that I write about Mac OS, it's weird how it's the only one that gets a name.
I wonder how long they'll continue that.
Historical reasons.
Well, as you know, this is Snow Leopard, isn't it? Redux, right? This is when Apple decided to go on a bug hunt in Snow Leopard.
Well,
and skip features. Did that work?
Well, I have a point to make about that. Snow Leopard is like sort of mythologized as being like, you know, the zero new features year, and you know the year that they focused on bug fixes, and that has kind of never been true. Like if you look at the new features of Mac OS X Snow Leopard on Wikipedia, you see a very long list of features, much longer than zero. It introduced the Mac App Store. The Finder was completely rewritten in Cocoa. A bunch of apps were fully rewritten to be 64-bit. It had QuickTime X, which was the brand new version of the QuickTime app that, you know, is basically the foundation of what we still use today. Safari 4 had a bunch of new features in it. Many more features than zero. You know, for developers, it had something called Grand Central Dispatch, which allowed developers to easily write code that could take advantage of, like, you know, the new multi-threaded and multi-core processors at the time. Snow Leopard was actually a really big year in terms of features. It sort of gained its reputation for being a bug fix update, largely in part because people remember the last version of Snow Leopard, you know, 10.6.8, the one just before they released Mac OS X Lion, the next version after that.
Yes, I remember that distinctly. Yes, 10.6.8.
Yeah.
Really,
it's just burned into my memory.
Really, every version. But the thing is, every early version of Mac OS X got a bug fix year because they didn't release a new version every year. Snow Leopard lasted 2 years. Leopard lasted 2 years. Like Mac OS X Tiger was the most recent version for like 2.5 years. You know, they would release a new version, you know, 1 year, and then they would spend the next 2 years as bug fix years. It was only when, you know, Craig Federighi declared that they were going to start doing, you know, annual software updates that, you know, the bug fix year kind of got thrown away. But that is to say that Mac OS X Snow Leopard wasn't really special in that regard. It was just, you know, the last one where they didn't immediately replace it the year following with more features, and they didn't take the time to do bug fixes. But
was Snow Leopard the one where they actually put a screen, a slide up on the screen said 0 new features?
Yeah. And then the immediate next slide was Steve Jobs talking about the new features that it had. So it's always been, you know, kind of a marketing thing more than actual truth.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, like, you know, Apple doesn't purposely put out buggy software. I mean, don't they try to quash every, you know, as many bugs as they can find in the beta period before they officially release, each OS.
The software team is organized into a collection of much smaller, projects and engineering teams. Like, it's not like there's one team that's working on Mac OS 26 and then, they all start working on Mac OS 27. You'll have a team developing new features for Reminders or Safari, or these are all discrete teams, and they might be further subdivided into teams that are just working on specific features. My understanding from the outside, not having worked at Apple, but having talked to a few Apple engineers, is that, once your team accomplishes their task, the team working on linked notes in the Notes app, puts that feature into, iOS 18 or 17, then that team is disbanded and moved on separate things. So there might be bugs remaining in their work that they aren't able to fix because, then the team is whittled down to just, one or two people who are assigned to that, for the next year. And then they'll move on to something else the next year as well. So the way that Apple architects their, and organizes their engineers, a lot of times, like they ship features, they ship a major version of an app, and then they don't have the resources to fix everything that comes in.
So this is actually a meaningful, distinction they're making. This is actually, they're gonna, it's to take these teams. Let's go back, look at all the stuff we did. Let's fix it, make sure it's all polished, lickety split and smooth and all that kind of stuff. But then, not do new features. I guess all the new features are going to be AI anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all handed over to the AI, to Siri. So. Well, I guess I look forward to that. I've had actually really kind of I haven't had any bug problems, that I can think of. I think my phone is pretty bug free it hasn't done any really strange stuff that I can remember. It's because it's running iOS 26, whatever it is, the latest version.
How it works might be inverted this year, where, if you're on a developer beta, you're probably getting a more stable experience.
Than the regular. No, it's 26.1. So I'm not. I stopped doing the betas, so it's just a regular 26.1. That's a funny angle for a post. That's a really good angle for a post. If you want to, get less bugs, go into the buggy developer beta.
Yeah.
I still haven't dared to update my Mac, but on the iPhone, I don't know. I don't find it to be that pleasing, to be honest. I'm not in love with it. It's like, it's okay. It's kind of gimmicky. Looks kind of cheap in a lot of instances. Things look just cheap. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's like not much thought was put into this. I'm sure they put a lot of thought into it, but it.
My God, they made the whole thing in physical artifacts, to slide around on a design table in the precious Apple Design Studio.
Yeah, how much money did they spend on that, I wonder?
Yeah, a lot. Everything custom made. Let's talk about file sharing. Huge breakthrough in the file sharing world. Android can now do Apple AirDrop. So, quote, this is from Google. As part of our efforts to continue to make cross-platform communication more seamless for users, we've made Quick Share, which is Android's file sharing feature, interoperable with AirDrop, allowing for two-way file sharing between Android and iOS devices, Google wrote on its blog. Quote, this new feature made it possible to quickly share your photos, videos, and files with people you choose to communicate with without worrying about the kind of phone they use. So AirDrop uses a local peer-to-peer Wi-Fi connection. It uses Bluetooth to let the devices find each other, and then it uses a fast peer-to-peer Wi-Fi connection to actually transfer the files and pictures and other data. So Apple developed this using a proprietary standard, which is called the Apple Wireless Direct Link, AWDL. But it's proprietary, so other companies couldn't make their own wireless sharing features compatible with AirDrop. But earlier this year, the EU Digital Markets Act, the DMA, required Apple to adopt new interoperable wireless standards. So Apple added support for the Wi-Fi Alliance's Wi-Fi Aware standard instead of AWDL. And now this is kind of this isn't as bad as it seems, because that standard, the Wi-Fi Aware, was actually based on Apple's AWDL, and they did all the work that Apple did for this. They adopted in this new standard. So Wi-Fi Aware was added to iOS 26 and iPad OS 26, and it runs on iPhone 12s and later, and most iPads that have been released in the last 3 or 4 years. However, Mac OS 26 is not listed as a supported operating system. Neither is Vision OS. And tellingly, macOS is not considered to be a gatekeeper operating system under the DMA, as both the iOS and iPadOS are. And then Google confirmed to The Verge that Apple wasn't involved in this at all. Google has supported the Wi-Fi Aware in Android since version 8, but right now this cross-platform tech is compatible only with the Pixel 10 family. That's because Google added it to these high-end models. And support for this standard is going to have to be up to the individual Android device maker, Samsung, Motorola, and so forth, I believe, is what I'd read. So it's up to them to actually add this, to QuickShare, not Google overall in Android. And of course, most Android handsets are running older versions of the OS. They tend not to be as good with updates as Apple is. So, it might be quite a long time for Android users to see this. I don't know. Is this a feature you think that Android users are clamoring for? AirDrop? And do you use AirDrop a lot?
I use AirDrop.
Although funny enough, actually, my mom.
Yeah.
yeah, me too. My mom yesterday was trying to get a lot of pictures from me using AirDrop. My mom knows how to use my phone better than I do.
Yeah, I use AirDrop all the time. It's absolutely essential. I mean, airdropping between devices, it's just the best way to get a file from your phone onto your Mac or from your Mac onto your phone again.
Yeah.
Or, just
right.
sharing pictures between people. Everybody takes, a bunch of pictures of the same event, but we all have our different sets of it. We just airdrop them to each other. Like, what else are you going to do? Like, if you try texting them, they're going to be compressed to really horrible low resolutions. You can't email them because, there's email limits of like 35 megabytes. And Apple has their like mail drop feature, but it's kind of clunky and annoying to use. And I've never seen anybody like genuinely know how to deal with that when they receive one. You can try uploading a bunch of stuff to Google Drive, but again, a lot of steps, really complicated. The best way is to just select everything, airdrop to it. And yeah, it might take a few tries, but it take, 10 minutes later, everybody has every photo and video in the full original quality. It's just the best system. And, Android friends, sorry.
You're out of luck.
AirDrop's awesome. I can't wait to use it with an Android friend.
Do you have any Android friends?
Yeah, I actually have plenty of friends who have Androids, but I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of Apple, iPhone people who don't know about it, AirDrop. It's kind of one of those great features that's underappreciated.
Apple's best feature ever. You should post that and you'll go viral on Threads.
Are you using it? You're probably not even using it.
Actually, here's another question. Among your Android friends, how many of them are Pixel devices, or are they like Samsung's, Huawei phones? Like, do you know what the...
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think almost all of them are Samsung. Seems like. I don't...
I see reports that like the Pixel phones don't actually sell that great, but I actually know a few people who have them, Pixel phones.
I mean, I think they're for...
You can recognize them really easily because they have like the distinct camera, not a plateau.
The iPhone Air bar. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I remember seeing any Google Pixels. I'm sure that people you hang out with would. I mean, they're the best, right? They're the best ones. So they have the best Google features. If you're like totally into Android phones, that's what you're going to get.
Well, let's talk about what everyone really is worrying about this weekend is Black Friday. Black Friday deals, and there's a good reason why you might want to skip Apple's Black Friday offering, right, Lewis?
Yeah, I mean, like most years, Apple isn't really cutting prices. They're handing out gift cards.
Giving the opportunity to give them more money.
Right. Commit you to the brand. Online or in the Apple retail stores, you can get these gift cards in a variety of denominations, up to $250, which sounds pretty good, except, you have to buy a pretty expensive device to get that, obviously.
$4,500 MacBook to get it.
Yeah, so let's see, like some of the examples. $75 gift card if you buy an iPhone 16 or iPhone 16e. Gift card up to $100 with an iPad Air, or, well, I'm sure up to. There's a lot of up tos in this post, and a lot of up tos on Apple's site. Oh, get up to, I can't remember what it was, up to $75 off AirPods or AirPods Max, right? Well, which one do you think you're going to get the $75 back on? So, I mean, that's why we wrote this post, why you might want to pass on Apple's Black Friday deals, because basically they're not that great of deals. It's nice to shop with Apple. It's nice to go in there and have that experience, and certainly the customer service is fantastic. If you buy the stuff online, you get the free engraving. I mean, there are perks to buying from Apple, but if you want the best price, if the best price is what you're going for, probably not the way to go.
Right.
As usual. I mean, to be honest, there's nothing new about that. This is just kind of like the tradition.
Well, they used to give you AirPods, didn't they? Actually, no. But did they ever do that on Black Friday? I beg your pardon. Can you cut that?
It used to be like their back to school deal that was pretty good. Like when I bought my 2015 MacBook Pro, I happened to be buying it in the summer because I also happened to still be in college, so I guess it was actually a back to school deal. But like their education discount was like, you know, the Beats over the ear headphones at the time, which I think, you know, had like a value of, you know, around $250. But now they only give you like entry level AirPods, so they've devalued it a little bit, but the AirPods are the ones that everybody wants, so you can hardly blame them.
And don't they give you the option to pay a little more and get slightly better AirPods if you want?
Yeah, but you know, then you have to pay a little more. And
well, Apple, you know, doesn't really do sales, does it? This is, you know, it's kind of notable that they even deign to partake in this. And of course, 250 is like most things you buy from a retailer are marked up at least 50%. Like, you know, the wholesale price is probably half of what you're paying, and so if it's as true of Apple too, you know, they're making you know, half of what you pay for it is profit to them, and they give you a $250 gift card. That's, you know, there's almost no discount whatsoever. Basically, at the end of the day, if you work it out, it's like they're not taking anything from Tim Cook's precious bottom line. They're maintaining those margins. They're right up there. What are the best deals? I mean, I saw some pretty good deals on Amazon. I mean, the AirPods 4, they're like half off. That's crazy. They've gone down to what, $69?
Yeah, I think that's right for the regular AirPods 4, and it's $99 for the ones with active noise cancellation. Is the latest prices we've seen. This one is not necessarily a MacBook Air. I mean, a Black Friday deal, but the MacBook Air, M4 MacBook Air, $749. I mean, it's been that way for a couple of weeks now. That's an amazing deal.
Right. For sure it is. Yeah, that's a beautiful computer. That's you know, they're so good. They're so fantastic. They definitely compete with, like, well, saying that. I was going to say they compete with MacBook Pros. I mean, there's the industrial design, the features I think are almost as good as the Pros. Of course, they can't compare with the Pros on performance. So if you're doing anything
they can't compare with the expensive MacBook Pro, but like the entry level MacBook Pro still has the same chip in it. You know,
as the
entry level chip as the Air. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the ports, right? Entry level iPad reached a new low, $274 as we're looking at it right now. $274. That's down from $349.
Fantastic deal.
Yeah, another fantastic device.
Great iPad. The only thing wrong with it is it doesn't support Apple Intelligence, but you know, maybe that's not such a bad thing.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. Every time, like, I check in with Apple Intelligence every while, especially the Image Playground one, because, you know, we're creating images all the time for the website, you know, different graphics, different images, whatever. Apple Intelligence, it is absolutely the worst piece of crap I've ever tried for creating an image. The worst. It almost never even will do anything, you know, because there's so many, you know, guardrails or whatever. It's just, when it does, it's like just garbage. It's amazing. It's actually amazing that Apple hasn't just said, you know what, we screwed up. We're just going to just get rid of this. I mean,
it's amazing to me that they even shipped it in the first place, or even thought it was worth demoing. It's remarkable.
Yeah. I mean, you know, they just felt like they had to get on the bandwagon, but boy, what an insult, man. I mean, the fact that it won't create the most basic of images. It just says, oh, sorry, I don't understand that, or I can't do that, or whatever. It's you compare it to.
I guess it's safe. It's safe for kids. You know, I guess it's a kids feature, isn't it? Really? Like,
yeah,
it's safe for kids.
Yeah.
All the adults in the room are going to go to Nano Banana or Midjourney or something else. But you know,
I
for
mean,
children,
is that Apple's target market though? I mean, is that the whole thing? Like, we can't have anything that's worthy of an adult.
The MO for a long time, hasn't it? With the App Store and, you know, the media, Apple TV. It's like, let's not put anything in there that's going to upset the children.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, it seemed radically different to me, but
I'm not sure if like the kids are into Image Playground. I haven't seen anybody share an Image Playground image like unironically without like poking fun at it.
Yeah,
true enough. Exactly. I don't think I've ever seen anyone share any of them at all. Ever.
One of the things that we do at Cult of Mac every day in Slack, one of our writers, Ed Hardy, will produce an image based on, you know, whatever the made up national holiday is, right? International Pancake Day or whatever. He'll create an image using some AI thing, just it's a way of handing off the reins of who's editing the homepage at that time. And like some days they're absolutely amazing. Every once in a while he'll do one on Apple Image Playground just to like show how ridiculously bad and out of touch it is. Once in a while it comes up with something. Once in a while. But honestly, it's like it's too much of a pain in the butt to even try. I mean, it takes longer, produces way less good results. Why even waste your time with it? I mean, the first time that you use it and it says, "Oh, I want a football that looks like Eddie Van Halen." Sorry, I can't do it. It absolutely refuses to use any name or any kind of input like that. I don't know. Constantly wants you to put in a picture of a contact for everything. Mm-hmm. Like, I want a picture of a pecan pie. Who would you like it to look like? Add a contact. No, I don't want to add a contact because that's gross. People aren't pecan pies.
Well, you just need to download a picture of Eddie Van Halen to your photo library and then do it from the Photos app.
Yeah. It's too much effort. And the results are going to suck anyway, so why would I do it? Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Well, what are the images that he conjured today for the turkey hump day thing, which is mashed up a camel with a turkey, which do look like nightmare fuel?
I don't know. Gemini, maybe Nano Banana Pro. Who knows? That's the hot new one on the market. Burning up the charts. God, that is
burning up the
lakes.
You can only make 4 or 5 images before you run out of tokens, kind of on the free plan anyway. So.
Yeah, that's the problem I've had with Google. Nano Banana, whatever the first version was. I created like 5 images and it says, "Oh, sorry, out of credits." I'm like, oh, great. Let's sign up for a subscription so I can create stupid AI images.
The 3rd generation Apple Watch SE3
back on track
is on sale. It's normally $249, but you can get it for only $199.
That's a really good deal too. I mean,
oh yeah,
it's a really good watch, isn't it? I gave one of those to my father-in-law a couple of years ago, and not thinking that he would take to it. The bloody thing's glued to his wrist. He loves it.
So $200. You have it's the latest one. It has the S10 chip, the wrist flick, the double tap gestures, the stronger display glass. So that's a good watch, good deal. And
the other favorite deal we've got is AirTags 4-pack, $65. I think that's the lowest we've ever seen it. I mean, that has come up in the past because this product's been out for a little while, but that's still an unbeatable deal. I mean, and they're great stocking stuffers. Buy a 4-pack, just toss one in everybody's. I think it's an awesome deal.
It is, yeah, and they're great. But I finally got to the point now where I bought some of these 4-packs, and we've actually got a couple spare that we're not using. Like, I think I've AirTagged everything I could possibly AirTag. And there's nothing left to AirTag anymore. I tried to get my wife to AirTag some stuff. She wasn't interested. Like, don't you want to put one in your bag? No, she was not interested. I've actually run out of things to AirTag, I think. Have you actually got to that point? Although, actually, that's not true, because we didn't AirTag our luggage. We didn't AirTag our pets. We've got 2 cats that we could AirTag.
You didn't do your luggage. That's like the thing that you need to do.
Both of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, true enough. Yeah.
It's better than running into the limit where you've AirTagged too many things and it doesn't let you add any more.
How many is that limit?
I think it's like 50, but Merlin Mann was talking about how like he can't AirTag any more things. He's at the peak number of items.
Crazy. I bought some cheap AirTags on Prime Day that were $20 for a 4-pack. But I've got them here.
AirTag clones, you mean?
Clones, yeah. Sorry, they're cheap. They're knockoffs. They're these diamond ones.
Are they radioactive?
They might be. But they're fully Find My compliant. Although when you say that, there's actually some shortcomings out there with these things. This is what they look like. You get a little 4-pack.
Wow, even with a holder.
Exactly, which Apple's doesn't come with. Oh, and they even have little
lanyards. What?
Lanyards, yeah. I haven't fired these up and tried them out yet. But these are like $4 each or $5 each. $19 for a pack of 4, I think it was.
Have you tried finding anything with them yet, or have you not set them up yet?
I haven't actually tried. I haven't tried using them yet. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how that works.
Cheap. Did you buy anything for Black Friday? Did you get anything? Did you buy anything?
I did buy a couple of things, but they weren't Apple related.
I noticed that my blow dryer, the blow dryer that I use, I checked and that's on sale. It's for 24% off. Maybe I'll.
Is it an industrial one? Or is it like a leaf blower?
Yeah. Very high power. Gets your hair really tall.
18-volt rechargeable battery, Ryobi hair dryer. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know how much you want to talk about this, but I mean, we've been spending a lot of time looking at these deals. Done a million posts on Cult of Mac. I mean, some of these deals are pretty amazing already, and we're not even at Black Friday yet. I mean, whether or not they'll go further, who knows? But kind of shocking. If you need Apple peripherals, Apple accessories, iPhone accessories, we've got lists of some of the best deals we've found on the website. You can't miss them.
We're selling a lot of iPads. iPads seem to be the big thing this year. I know a lot of the iPads are pretty heavily marked down. So
yeah, that's a great price. $274 for the entry-level iPad. I mean, I was tempted to buy one of those myself, just to have a decent iPad. I mean, every iPad I have is compromised in some way.
Well, one of the questions that like my brother asked me was like, is it worth waiting for Cyber Monday? Because you were telling me, remember Lewis, what's the meaning of Cyber Monday anymore? I mean, like, is it even worth waiting out?
I mean, I don't know. Is it worth waiting out? I mean, honestly, most of these deals are as good or better than you see other times of the year, but it's not like sales are unheard of, right? So,
well, these are better deals. No, they've gone to lower prices, haven't they? I mean, like a lot of stuff is at record low prices.
Yeah, for sure. But will those deals disappear next Tuesday, the day after Cyber Monday? Who knows? Some things might sell out. I mean, one thing that we saw early, we had found some deals on like Apple Watch Series 10 that they were clearance sales. Well, guess what? They've cleared. They're not available anymore. And same thing with we had some Apple Watch SE2 deals that those were clearance deals, and now there's nothing left. So
the AirPods Pro 3 had a really good deal, and then it disappeared, but then it came back a day later. So
right, that was really weird.
Going. Yeah.
Well, you were saying some of the prices sort of fluctuate in real time, weren't you, yesterday, Lewis?
Oh my God, I was updating a post, and by the time I went down a list of prices, and I went back at the beginning, and some of them had changed, and not only some of them had changed, but some of them had gone out of stock. If you see something you like, I mean, I doubt you're going to get too much better of a deal on any of these things than what we're seeing right now. Cyber Monday, I mean, I don't know what the reason for Cyber Monday is anymore. I mean, in the old days, it was you went to an actual store on Black Friday, or even, I mean, I remember this crazy people going at like midnight on Thanksgiving Day. Do you remember that crap? And getting to brawls and fist fights and
doorbuster TV.
Yeah, try and grab some stuffed animal away from a screaming child. And then after
was that you?
No, it was not. I never went to any of those.
He was the child. He's never gotten over it.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God! And and then after that whole long Thanksgiving weekend, then what Cyber Monday was, why it came into being, was when online shopping first started happening, and people go back to work and spend the whole day shopping online, right? Rather than working. Because I mean, I'm not exactly sure when Cyber Monday started, but I'm thinking it was back when like most people didn't have great home internet connections, and it was like, am I making up history right now? Is that true?
No, I think that's true. Yeah, you're right. It was like, that Black Friday was for physical stores and Cyber Monday was for online shopping. Now it's all online shopping, really, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. And now it's a week. I know, like they don't on Amazon. They call it Black Friday week now.
I know.
They don't even call it Black Friday. Black Friday week.
It's just crazy. Well, it's just like Apple Big Deal or the Big Deal Day, which became Big Deal Days, and everything. All these. Amazon is all as
what
a constant
sale, right? What happens to the sanctity of Black Friday? We've lost the true meaning of Black Friday.
Oh, God. I don't think I've ever gone out on a Black Friday to a mall or anything like that. I remember going one time on like Christmas Eve in Ohio, and I was just the whole thing was just kind of appalling. I don't know. I felt so
solid.
Just did not seem good.
My brother loves it. Him and his family go down to Union Square every Black Friday, and they go around Macy's and they look at there's all these adopted animals that are in the windows. Animals up for adoption in the windows of Macy's, and they have a big Christmas tree in Union Square, and the stores, they look pretty attractive. I mean, the ones that are
the ones that are open still.
Yeah, it's coming back though, finally, isn't it?
A little bit.
I can't imagine anything worse. I think I'd rather be hung, drawn, and quartered than go down to the shopping district on a Friday. But my brother loves it. Him and his wife and his kid, they make a whole day out of it. Even my mom goes along with them. And in fact, I think they're going to go up to Corte Madera, like in Marin County. They're going to drive up across the Golden Gate Bridge this Friday to go to the one in Marin, which is even bigger. They've got a huge mall there, and there's the Apple Store as well to visit. Yeah, the big
always looks nice.
Marquee one. Yeah, it's a nice looking store, and you can hang out in the back of the trees. The Ruthless Hour sculpture there. There's a water sculpture, and they got some trees and tables. Pleasant, quite pleasant.
What they need is a beer garden.
Good point. Do you think Tim Cook's going to go for that? I doubt it.
Probably not, especially not at Christmas time. Maybe a hot buttered rum.
Yeah, yummy, delicious. All right, well, that's enough of this. Let's talk about how to give your Mac a makeover with custom icons. And this is something that I used to... Do you remember ResEdit back in the day?
Oh, yes.
This is gone... And I used to tinker around with that, I think. But I haven't done any custom custom icon makeovers recently. But Lewis, Griffin, why don't you show us how you do this? Is it worth it, actually, in the first place? Do you think this is worth it? Did it make a big difference for you?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty simple. On your Mac, you go to your home folder, your user folder, and you can see all of these folders have like special icons on them. Like the applications folder has an applications icon. The desktop has a little picture on that. The downloads has a nice little picture. But you've never been able to make these yourself. Because I'm a graphic designer, I sort of made my own icons long ago, but now this is a fully supported thing that you can do yourself. So you can click on any of these folders, like the school folder that I added to this area, and you can either right click on it or you can click the sort of more button in the Finder toolbar. And if you're on macOS Tahoe, there's a new function called Customize Folder. And you've got like this whole big long set of icons that you can add to it. You can add people icons. For some reason, there's like a bunch of every Apple Watch activity icon has an icon that you can add to it. Like if you, I don't know who has like a fencing folder on their Mac or
maybe that could use up your school folder.
Yeah, or person snowboarding. Like, do you have snowboarding files you need to organize? But for school, I've graduated. Even though I might look like I'm still in high school, I actually graduated a long time ago. So I had a little graduation cap icon to that folder. And it perfectly embosses it, makes it look just like all the other ones. It looks really nice. And that's one thing you can do. You can go one step further. You can add an emoji to it if you want, an emoji if you like. And you can also change the color of it. So you've long been able to tag files and folders on the Mac with a tag color, but now in macOS Tahoe, when you tag it, it changes the color of the folder icon as well. So you can give it a green color and make it stand out visually amongst all the other ones.
That's probably the most useful thing, at least for me anyway. I recognize icons and things by color mostly. Yeah.
If you've got a folder for your legal downloads, you can. There's a few different icons you can do.
A police whistle?
For downloads, it feels kind of internet-y, so I'm trying to look for a little icon that screams internet to me. Oh, here you go. Sort of like a globe. It evokes the concept of the internet, and you can give that a big, orange color, make it stand out. Both of these features I know in macOS Tahoe, but there's actually even more you can do with this. You can customize, honestly, any icon on your Mac as well. So one problem that I've long taken issue with the built-in macOS icons is that if you plug in an external drive into your computer, the icon that it gives that drive is like a really bright yellow color. And I don't know about you, but yellow isn't really my favorite color. So I always customized it. You can give an external drive a tag, but it doesn't actually change the color of the icon. For whatever reason, they haven't gone that far in macOS yet. But you can still do this yourself. You select it, you hit File, Get Info, and that brings up this little panel here. And there's a hidden trick when you do this. You can click on the little picture of the icon, it selects it, and you can copy it. And what I've done is I then go into an image editing app like Pixelmator Pro, and then with a little replace color function, what color would you like it to be?
Pink.
Green.
Pink. simple as that. We can make it pink. We can copy it, and then you go back to the Get Info panel, and then you can just paste it, and then suddenly you've made your icon pink. You could replace it with any icon. Like you download a little icon online or a picture of your own face or something like that. You hit the Get Info thing. You can just replace the icon, and there you go. You've got a fun little icon to set your external drive apart from your other drives. So I have a how-to article that you can use to like properly follow along when you're at your computer, and with plenty of screenshots and things like that. That is how you can customize the icons on your Mac.
Everyone hates the Macintosh HD, the hard drive, the default hard drive icon in Tahoe. Where can you get the old one back if you want the old one back?
There are a few great resources. One of them is called Logopedia. It's like logos.fandom.com. That's where you can find like a bunch of old logos for things, and you can find a lot of old macOS icons. There are a few different websites where you can go to find like a bunch of macOS icons. Like I think one of them is actually called macosicons.com, where you can find alternate icon sets to fully customize your Mac if you like. There are a few resources available.
All right, cool. That's very handy to know, isn't it? People love to do that. I remember the ResEdit thing. That was a huge phenomenon. Like there was a massive website that got tons of. There was a massive forum. Lots of people were really into it. Mm-hmm. It's not been a thing. Have you seen people like doing a lot of customization with their iPhones with the home screens? Because of course this is something you can do on iOS. Do you see that? I don't think I've seen it. I don't think I know anyone who's actually customized.
I know a lot of people who use WidgetKit, the popular app by David Smith and Stephen Hackett, to customize their home screens and make them like look nice and interesting and cool and more aesthetic. But yeah, you can go the next level and fully customize the icons on your iPhone as well. That's pretty popular.
Well, I haven't actually seen it in the wild, is what I'm saying. I haven't seen anyone who's done it. I don't know how popular it is. I think it's popular with a certain section of the Apple community.
Yeah.
To customize
a certain class of enthusiasts.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about this monitor that you got to review. It's a ViewSonic VP2788-5K display.
Really rolls off the tongue.
Rolls
doesn't it?
off the tongue.
Yeah. So this is the ViewSonic display. There have been a number of these new like 5K displays matching the specs of Apple's Studio Display that have all come out really in the last year. It's a pretty new, exciting line of products that are now out. For a long time, Apple was the only maker of Retina desktop-sized displays, but now we've got competition from ASUS, BenQ, and the ViewSonic one is, I think, the third best entry in this new class of devices. So if you're watching on YouTube, I'll be running some beautiful Apple screensavers so you get an idea of how it looks like. So then it
looks fantastic.
I copied my notes onto my Apple Newton that I'll be reading from.
Like a Newton. Oh my God.
27-inch 5K Retina display, just like the Studio Display, resolution of 5120 by 2880. Just like the Studio Display, just like the other two competitors that I mentioned. What sets this one apart in specs, though, is that it has a higher refresh rate. All the other ones are 60 hertz. This one is slightly higher at 75 hertz, which isn't like bigger enough to make it super noticeable. Like it's not like 90 or 120, but it is a little nicer. Unlike the Studio Display, it's adjustable even on the entry-level model. So, it raises, lowers, rotates left and right, tilts, rotates, to 90 degrees if you want. It has the same color space. Like none of these are HDR, but it's got, 100% of the sRGB color space. If you care about such things, if you're a graphic designer, the colors are pretty nice and bright and vivid to my eye. Unlike the Studio Display, and also like the other third-party monitors, it's not aluminum, it's all dark plastic. One of the things that I really didn't like about the Asus ProArt 5K display is how cheap the plastic body felt, and I don't feel that with this at all. My test that I always give is I grab it on either side and sort of squeeze it and flex it and listen for any horrible plastic creaking noises. This one is pretty solid.
So it's not cheap plastic, it's premium plastic.
Oh, yeah. Good build quality. It feels substantial and thick. Nothing bad there.
It looked like it was flexing that pretty well.
A little bit, but, the Asus one, trust me, it was a lot worse.
Yeah.
I
can't remember the last time I flexed a monitor, so...
I'm afraid to.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was sent this, so... It's my journalistic duty.
Right.
What sets this one apart? And it keeps playing the same screensaver over and over again. Enjoy this nice loop of this blue ocean.
It's a nice screensaver.
It is, yeah. What sets this display apart is that it's a full Thunderbolt 4 dock. So you don't just have 2 or 3 USB ports. You have 2 USB-A ports, 2 USB-C ports, 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports. One of them can charge your laptop at 100 watts. So you can still get it's the one plug you can plug into your MacBook Pro and have it charge and run all the ports off of it. And it's also a pass-through port, so you can have high-speed external storage plugged into the display that also runs to your computer. The one thing I don't like about it is that the ports aren't in a very good spot. Like a lot of other sort of cheap displays, they're angled down towards the surface of the desk. All of Apple's displays have the ports coming straight out of the back where they're a little easier to access, but really this is designed to be like a dock. So, you plug everything that you need to into the display, and then you're not supposed to be fiddling with it day after day. But that's
that seems really handy.
I have to
that seems kind of great, though. You set it up once, right? And then you just plug your MacBook in when you come home.
Yeah. It's the one thing you plug in, and then you've got everything there. Every display has the one thing that you need to change in it. The one thing you need to change in this is that it automatically shuts off after a really short period of time. Like when it goes into sleep mode, it fully turns off the display, so you can't just mash a button on your keyboard and have it come back on. You need to go into the main menu settings, set the auto power off and auto sleep thing to basically turn off so that it actually comes on instantly. But once you do that, absolutely no problems with it. The controls are pretty intuitive for all the settings. One button is for the power, one button is a 4-directional jog wheel that you can click in either direction to pretty intuitively navigate the settings.
Alex, is it intuitive? Because those things can be horrible, can't they?
They can be.
This one better than normal?
This one's pretty easy to use, honestly.
Cool.
It looks like while I'm fiddling with it, I accidentally changed the display mode, but
I have messed it up.
When I'm not focused on doing the review simultaneously, I can fix that. It has a picture-in-picture mode and side-by-side mode if you want to do 2 computers plugged into the same monitor simultaneously for some reason. But it's a little fiddly to set up, so I don't really see myself using that. But you can if you want to, if you have 2 Macs, or a Mac and a PC, or a personal computer and a work computer.
Yeah, that could be useful.
It has 2 built-in 5-watt speakers that aren't very good, but are still the best built-in display speakers I've heard. They're really loud, but they have absolutely no bass whatsoever. But they'll do in a pinch if you don't want to wear your headphones. Of course, compared to the studio display, no built-in microphone, no built-in camera. But honestly, I use my iPhone with camo anyway, so I don't really. That's not something that I miss. In terms of pricing, it's sort of in the middle of the road of all the other third-party displays of its class. The Asus ProArt display is normally $849, and now I think it's $799. But it's a little cheap. The BenQ display is around $1,200. This one's sort of dead set in the middle of $950. And compared to the studio display of $1,600, it's a pretty good alternative in my opinion. I think this is the one that I would recommend the most. Yeah.
And under 1,000. I wonder if it's on sale for Black Friday.
I checked, and it is not.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, right, Friday or Cyber Monday. It looks like a really nice monitor. These are beautiful monitors, aren't they, these 5K screens? And of course, they're getting a lot more affordable these days, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. They're coming down to price. It makes you think that maybe, oh, God, I'm really blown out, aren't I? This is very bright. Now that you have all these similar 5K displays for 2/3 the price, it makes me wonder if Apple's going to revise the studio display to add more features like maybe ProMotion or HDR at some point. But for the time being, if you just want 5K resolution, 27-inch size, it's the one and only monitor that I feel I really need, then you can get it at much less than Apple's price.
Yeah, cool. Well, competition, always good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I think that's about all the CultCast we have for you this week. Let's wrap it up right there. If you want to more, follow Lewis on Twitter at Lewis Wallace. Griffin is on Mastodon at dgriffinjones, and I write the Cultimac newsletter every day, which is at newsletters.cultimac.com. So please send us a question or a link.
Well, it is Thanksgiving.
We do need your questions. Please send us questions for next week's show.
Yeah, please send us questions for next week's show. We didn't have any this week, but maybe we can. Thanksgiving, we'll give you when you're at home with your parents' computers and stuff like that. Maybe it'll inspire you to ask us some questions. So that's been the CultCast, the best Apple hour-long conversation you're going to hear all week long. The best. I don't think I'm cut out for hosting a podcast. Should we just start all that again?
Oh, keep going.
The whole show's a disaster.
You're going to
anyway,
start
so
with the hello? This time with, this time with some enthusiasm, yeah.
Why the f*** not? All right, I think that just about wraps it up. That's all the CultCast we have for you this week. Thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
Rapid fire.
Bye. You can write your own outro script if you want.
I don't know why it trips me up. It's so strange.
Pre-record it and have like a little, game show outro jingle going.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Maybe we should just do the same one every week.